Cancer, it's your honest homegirl, Hᴇɪ, and this is your intuitive timeless reading. So when you see this reading is for you. Take what resonates, what doesn't resonate, leave for another healing homie. With that said, let's jump into your intuitive message. When I sat down to do your reading, I was getting the smell of pork chops. So some of you guys may be craving pork chops, cooking pork chops, or wanting pork chops at this time. And for some of you, you know you ain't even supposed to be eating it, and that's probably why you're craving it. You probably cut out pork. For others of you, you may be realizing how strong the women in your family are, how empowering they are, some of you are really seeing them, like your mom and your grandma and your great-grandmother, from a whole totally healed perspective now, where you're realizing how much they sacrificed, how much they sat there and endured, how much they did say and didn't say to make sure you were clothed, you were fed, you were protected, you got what it is that you wanted and needed. And you may have, at a selfish point in your life, blamed them for a lot of things, but you didn't see all the things that they really had to go through to get you to where you are today. Because without their struggle, you wouldn't be who you are at this time. You could be respecting the divine feminine a lot more, appreciating her a lot more, seeing how much she really does endure as a woman in this world, especially a melanated woman. You're realizing, like, just as much as my melanated men out there, my indigenous men out there, you guys have your own struggle here in America. You're realizing that your melanated woman has just as much of a struggle, just as much as you, and that they're the only ones that truly understand your struggle. Other people can have an idea of what your struggle is, but the woman that is indigenous to you is the only one that truly knows what you're going through and how to heal you at this time. For others of you, I do feel like you're looking at yourselves as how proud you are of where you are and who you've become and the struggles and the things that you've endured. And even my men, Cancers, emotionally, you're realizing how much you've overcome. How much emotional intelligence you've obtained throughout the years that you've had to teach yourself. Because you may not have had a mom that was, emotionally available to you. Some of your moms had to be the mom and the dad in a situation, so they were probably a lot harder than they needed to be. They never was able to get in that soft era that people, I swear, these new age people with these new titles and this soft era shit. Listen, at the end of the day, only people that could really be having a soft era is people that went through some trials and tribulations and had no choice but to be hard, because there's some people out here that have been able to be in their soft era, male or female, for a long time. And, no shade to them. It's just, you had to fight for that soft era, okay? I'm really, like, I feel like some of you are realizing, like, a lot of y'all had to fight. Like, you could be surrounded by privileged people, and it's like you had to fight to where you are right now. You had to fight to be where you are. You had to work 3 times harder to be where you are at this time. And it's like you're finally at a point where you can sit there and put your guard down now. You're at a place where you can sit there and feel again. You're at a place where you're comfortable within yourself to be vulnerable. So some of you could have finally got into a relationship, a friendship, some type of partnership with somebody where it's like, okay, I could take my mask off. I could be myself. A lot of you guys had to take care of yourselves for a very long time at a very early age, okay? I do see a lot of you guys listening to music a lot, and I feel like music may have helped you get through a lot of things, and now is time where you need to focus more on the type of music you listen to, because what you listen to is what you're manifesting in your life at this time. I do feel for a lot of you guys, you're ready to allow love in finally. And you probably got a couple of people, on your roster, 3 to 6 people. And there's this one main squeeze over here that you're looking at like, yeah, you minds. You're in the lead, okay? May the best contender win, but there's like one contender that is that contender, And I feel like for you, Cancer, you guys are where you need to be in life, whether you've finally learned the lesson and, you know, you're moving forward, or you're learning a lesson at this time, or, you know, you finally grasped the lesson, understood why it happened, when it happened. Like the who, what, when, where, and why questions are all answered for some of you. It all depends on where you are on your journey. But I do feel like, you know, your coins are looking good. You know, creativity is coming back to you if you had creator's block, and you know, you're getting over the dynamic of the masculine and feminine examples that were in your life as a child, as an adolescent, because those examples may not have been the best examples, but those are the examples that have gotten you to where you are today. So you're realizing that you have to be grateful for your humble beginnings as well. If that intuitive message resonated with you guys, Cancer, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it. It does help my channel grow. And that's all I've asked. That's all I ask of you, healing homies, to support me. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning healing homie, what's up, gang? How are you? How I do my readings? I do your intuitive message first. Then I get into the divine feminine, then the divine masculine energies, because we embody both energies. And at the very end, I do intuitive, random intuitive messages that include messages from your person. So if you want the 411 on them and the scoop and the tea on them, stay tuned to the end. With that said, I will be reopening readings August 10th, so that information is in the description box below. If you guys want more content from me when I'm not on YouTube, I'm on Instagram at The Honest Homegirl, where I provide my healing homies with live readings, zodiac horoscopes, and daily root awakenings. So follow me there. And with that said, let's get into your reading. So Cancer, what is going on with the divine feminine energy within you? So we have a negative cord here, and we have the air energy here. So you guys are getting out of your heads at this time, because I feel like you being in your head a lot was getting the best of you. You thinking too much was getting the best of you. You trying to figure it all out was getting the best of you. It's like you were on overload with trying to heal, trying to make a decision, trying to bring balance into your world. And it's like, you know how sometimes you're just doing too much, and the saying less is more. I see you realizing that you overthinking how to do something caused you more stress than good, versus you just resting, you just listening to some jazz music, you just working out, doing simple things would bring you the balance and the harmony and the peace that you needed. Eating the right foods, you know, simple things that you do on a daily basis anyway. And it was like you were just all in your head about the situation. For some of you guys, you could have sat there and had negative emotions towards a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And it's like now you want to, come together with this person. You want to bring peace into the situation. You may want, it's like, I'm hearing too, like this person may have spoken some truths to you or about you, and you may not have liked it, but you're realizing it was for the best for you. Okay. It was pushing you to the next step, which was growth, which was rebirth, which was you expanding. It was you. Some of you may have had a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius may have told you may need to change partners, and you may not have seen what they saw in the beginning, but you're realizing how much more peace you have now that, you're seeing these. Like, I feel like somebody put a bad taste in your mouth because they triggered you into healing or triggered you into doing something. And now you're finally like, okay, I can go back to this person and think highly of them, or, be friends with them again. Because I'm going to tell you right now, air signs, they're going to tell you what's on their mind. And you may not have wanted to sit there and hear that, but if it was the truth, it was the truth. For others of you, I do see there's like a situation going on with your daughter, especially if you have a daughter under the age of 7. And if this is not a daughter, this is the emotions of your son. They may not be feeling themselves at this time. They may need a pep talk at this time from you. Okay. They may need some attention from you. I do see you guys constantly going over and over and over again in your head about a lot of things. And Spirit needs you to stop overthinking things, because it's not bringing it's like your stability and your security is like always on your mind, always on your mind. You're on this hamster wheel of how I'm going to get money, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to fix this, how I'm going to sit there and manage this at home, how I'm going to do. And Spirit is like, if you don't stop thinking, maybe the answer will come to you. You know how you're sitting here chasing for something and it's like you'll never get it because you won't just sit down. Sometimes if you just sat down in a chair, it might just walk up to you and maybe just hand it to you. The solution will be handed to you. The problem will just be fixed out of nowhere. But it's like if you on this rat race to hell, trying to get in where you fit in, it's like you're making it hard for Spirit to help you. And it's like you keep overly thinking things about your household, about your finances, about your money. And it's like, if you sit down, you'll realize how to solve the problem. Because some of the problems is just as simple as your ass not buying everything that you want because you don't need it. Okay? Some of you're just buying shit that you don't need. If you already got more than 5 pairs of shoes, that's more than the average person in America may have. You know how many poor people are in America that only have 1 pair of shoes and it probably got a hole in it, and you over here buying up all these sneakers, buying up all these clothes, buying, and then you worried about your stability and your security. Stop fucking buying shit, Cancer. Hello, because you over here emotionally spending, and Spirit said that got to go, okay? You're in a cycle. You're overly thinking about, soul searching and trying to find out something, and it's like you're investigating, and that's just all that's on your mind, and it's like, stop. Just stop. Spirit's like, just stop. Because you're on this hamster wheel. And you keep going on this hamster wheel. And you keep going faster and faster until you fall off. I don't think you want to fall off, because that's going to cause a lot of hurt, harm, and injury to your butt as fast as you're going. You might get flung out of that hamster wheel and hit your head real hard. For some of you, you're too overly thinking of how to, come together with a prince. We got so creep. So some of y'all could have been creeping, okay, or your partner could have been creeping, and you over here looking, or this could have been your ex, and you're trying to figure out what they got going on. Mind your business. Because if it's supposed to happen, if it's supposed to be for you to know, if it's supposed to come to the light, it will. You looking and searching ain't going to do anything but get you upset sooner than later if there is something. And if it ain't nothing and you over here spying, you're going to be looking like an ass sooner than later. And Spirit is like, if anything needs to be revealed to you, I will reveal it to you. For others of you, there's like this hamster wheel that's going on between your child and the parent, the other parent. Okay, it's like some days they're there, some days they're not. Some days this could be you with your child. Like some days you're in it to win it. Some days you don't want to be bothered. Some days it's like, for some of you, especially if you have like a daughter, okay, and it's like this father figure is like, they're there, but they're not there. They think, just getting the child what it is that they want, and that's it, and that's okay. And it's like, no, your child needs your time and attention more so than all these expensive things. And your daughter could be saying this to her father and he's not hearing her. It's like he's emotionally unavailable for her. So you're going to have to, either if this is you as a father to your children, you need to be more emotionally available to your children, not just giving them structure and discipline, because whether they're boys or girls, they still need that emotional vulnerability from both parents so that they can see healthy emotions from a masculine and from a feminine. Okay, I do feel for a lot of you guys, you want to come back together with this divine masculine, but it's like this person always leaves you with an empty heart, an empty void left in you, this empty feeling within you. Some of you, you're looking at the possibilities of you guys coming back together, and it's like the more you crave it, the more you want it, the less you'll have it. Because I feel like you guys are in tunnel vision right now, and it's like whatever it is that you want, and you're not stopping. And it's like Spirit really needs you to stop and breathe for a second. to figure shit out, okay? Because some of you, you're on this hamster wheel of some days you're good, some days you feel empty. Some days you're optimistic, some days you're like, oh, nothing's going to work out for me. And then some days you're over here soul searching and doing the work and putting in the effort to heal. And then some days you're over here being nosy on what other people is doing on OPP time, other people's time. Making other people problems, your problems type of energy. And then some days it's like you're thinking negative and then you're thinking positive. And then some days you're over here, you're balanced and, you know, everything is working out for you and then it's not. And it's like, you got to understand with healing, that's the emotional roller coaster that you're going to be on until you sit there and learn the lessons and hop off the hamster wheel and learn to surrender to spirit. Okay? You may be thinking that it's like, well, when will I ever just be stable? The thing is, you got to remember, too, even good times don't last. Just like bad times don't last forever, good times don't last forever either. The only thing that is constant in life is change. And that's something that you have to understand. You know, and you just got to ride the wave. The only thing is, as you heal, you learn how to cope with things a lot better. You know how to analyze things from a healed perspective. You start to realize, okay, everything happens for a reason. You learn to not question God and why things happen the way that they happen. They happen because it was God's plan for it to happen. That's why it happened. Whether you needed to learn a lesson, enjoy a blessing, or both. Okay? You guys got a heavy Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy around you. This person may just be a boss, or this person, you know, could be financially stable, or they may work in the financial district somehow, some way. This person may be an artist or some type of entrepreneur. I'm hearing they get money, okay? But that may be just their main focus is money at this time, and they don't have any emotional intelligence, and that's something that you may have to accept right now. Because I feel like there's a big lesson that you need to learn with that energy, whether this is your energy or somebody else's energy that you're dealing with. But let's look at the masculine aspect of you, Cancer. Okay, these cards all came out in the reverse. Yeah, see, you're not taking action anyway with balancing out a situation, because it's like you found out that there could have been a third party and the third party situation is over, but you still choosing violence. You still choosing violence, Cancer, and ain't no changes is going to happen with you choosing violence still. It's like whatever this person had an itch or scratch for, whether, you know, they like men, women, or both, who knows? It's like they're over that now. It's like, I'm hearing too, it's like the only reason why they over it is because they got caught. But this is you, okay? And it's like, this is something that you could be forever working on when it comes to you. If this is you, Cancer, having these multiple people and then, you know, going back to doing right, it's like you have some type of insecurity within yourself, especially if you're a male. Yeah, see, there's still some things, like you still kind of got that itch, that scratch. You ain't closed the door on it completely yet. Okay? Yeah, see, we got pregnancy here. And having fun, there may be babies, okay? So be mindful of that. You over here entertaining people, you better wrap it up. Because it's like, there's no change. So say if you're a Cancer, right? And you're not taking action to working on yourself, even through the tough times, you're not going to see any change, okay? If you are still dwelling on the past or on a relationship or coming together with somebody that you know you shouldn't really be coming together with because they have not changed, you're not going to see any change in your life because you're still having this door swinging open, leaving it cracked for this person to slither their little snake self back in your life when you need to close the door shut on them for right now. In order for you to see change. I am the type of reader that will turn the energy upwards so that you can bring peace and harmony into your life so that sudden change can happen, which is you finishing whatever unfinished business you have, getting the closure that you need. I do feel like a lot of you guys are seeking truth at this time, and you may or you may not get it, but that's something that you have to accept, that you may or may not get it. And you need to be okay with that. You need to understand that the change is only the change within you that you need to be worried about. So continue to do what you need to do for you. Close the doors that you need to close the doors on. Finish whatever that to-do list is so you can get it out of the way. For others of you, I really feel that, you may have always frowned upon these third-party situations since you were a teenager, because you may have seen people in your family always in third-party situations, and that's not what you want for your life. But at the same time, you became everything that you despised as well. Or you may be afraid of commitment, and you may just like to just be a serial dater. But I do see you, you're not lying to yourself anymore about the situation. You're not lying to yourself about why you are the way that you are when it comes to relationships. Because some of you could be controlling when it comes to relationships because you've dealt with third-party situations in the past that had a negative influence on you, gave you a negative experience when it came to love. And that could have happened when you were a teenager. I do feel when you were a teenager, there was something that may have happened to you that you haven't fully accepted or allowed to heal from, and your emotions are heavily tied to it, okay? That is something that you need to focus on, work through, and accept, that it happened to you. And the thing is, 9 times out of 10, when you're a teenager, some things are your fault, and then some things are still your parents' fault because you are still a minor, okay? Because of the things that you've been around or had to experience or endure or witness molded you into the teenager that you were at that time. There could be something that you are passionate about as well that you've always wanted to do, but you never got the chance to do it. And because you're an adult now, who's stopping you? Go do it. For others of you, you have this energy of you'll forever and always love this divine masculine. They will always have a soft spot for you. You are entertaining the idea of having another baby with this person because you want your children to have the same mother and father. That's totally up to you. I cannot sit there and tell you what to do and what not to do. Okay, but if you entertain the entertainment, okay, there is a high possibility somebody will get pregnant. Okay, I do see too that there is unfinished business with a Capricorn as well for some of you guys. This Capricorn may not be themselves at this time. They may be very depressed, or they may be dealing with low vibrational energies. They may be dealing with their shadow self at this time, and you may feel like this person could be bipolar or really heavily depressed because like their emotions are always up and down, up and down, up and down. There's never been like a constant, 6 months of them doing really good for themselves type of energy. Is always up and down. Like they've 1 minute they're good, the next minute they're not. And it's like on a daily basis, every day, all day type of energy. I do feel too for some of you guys, you're avoiding seeing your shadow self, and that's what you need to focus on. Some of you really need to look in the mirror and ask God to reveal your shadow self to you, because there's a lot of stuff that you don't like about yourself, but you're not willing to fix it right now. And if you're not ready, then that's okay too. But it's going to come to a time and a place when if you want to seek change, you're going to have to stop lying to yourselves. For some of you, you've woke up one day and you stopped lying to yourself about this divine masculine of yours or your partner or your female divine counterpart. And it's like you're realizing all their BS. You're like, you know what? Enough's enough. I see you for who you are, and I got to go. I got to do things differently. I can't sit there. You're not my Achilles heel or whatever it's called. Like you're like, I'm good on that. Okay. And I do feel for some of you, you don't want, your weaknesses to get the best of you. Your weaknesses creep around and temptation creeps around when you're not happy. So you're going to come to a place where you're happy, where you're working on the things you need to work on, whether it's, some type of addiction, vices, materialism, your shadow self, manipulation, just lying to yourself. It's like you're not falling for temptation anymore. When you keep yourself level-headed, you are easily more focused than tempted by things, okay? I don't know why I just heard Tempted to Touch. Who sings that song? Tempted to Touch, Tempted to Touch. You could be listening to that song. You could be tempted to touch somebody or have somebody touch on you. Be mindful, safe sex, guys, because if not, there is a high possibility of babies. Okay, let's get into the 411 on your person. What's on their mind? What do they want to say to you? And again, you may want to say this to this person, so take it how it resonates. What do we have at the bottom of the deck? Pour your sugar on me. I told you I was so tempted to touch something. Okay. It says, will you take me back? Staring at you from afar. Taking my mask off. Down, bitch. Listening to my ego. Have fun while you work. I miss you. So somebody could be, you could be missing somebody. Somebody could be missing you. Some of you really need to make your passion your paycheck. Okay. Some of you could be listening to your ego, or they're listening to their ego. Okay, somebody views you as somebody that's like their ride or die, but I done told people on my daily rude awakenings on Instagram that that's a setup, okay? That's a setup to be somebody's dummy for the rest of your life. So no, ain't no ride or die unless we riding and dying and working together to heal, to fix things and things of that nature, not for me to be around for your wholeness, okay? It says, taking my mask off. So you or this person could be finally learning that, hey, I have to be more emotionally available. I have to be more in tune with my divine masculine and feminine energy. This is you or them. You know, somebody, again, you know, they're wishing and hoping and praying on a star. Okay. With a chance with you, or to make things right with you. Let's get an oracle message. We have ready, set, go. Now is the perfect moment to dive in and embrace your heart's desires, okay? Simplify your life is at the bottom of the deck, so it's definitely time to get rid of clutter, okay? Give away things you don't need anymore, okay? And you don't even have to give it away. You can sit there and literally sell it on Poshmark, on Let Go, or for Up, all that good stuff, because y'all guys got a lot of stuff that you really don't need. And you over here talking about your stability and your security. Stop buying stuff. You guys need to learn to trust. Trust the process. Trust God. Trust that everything's going to work out. When you don't trust, you're literally questioning God. And you have to trust this personal growth journey within you and not judge yourself as well. Because we've all been there, done that. We all been ashamed of stuff. We all got things we need to work on. So don't sit there and belittle yourself, because we all got issues, okay? Sage, you may need to buy some sage. You need to sage your thoughts, sage your house, sage your crystals. A week from now is a prominent time for you, and ancestral healing is needed. So some of you guys are going through a lot of things that your family members went through, okay, especially the women in your family, and it says let it flow to you. So when it comes to love, when it comes to anything, you want to attract it by just being your natural born self, okay, and your higher self on a high frequency, because you can attract low vibrational things or high vibrational things. It all depends on you, Cancer. But that was your reading. I love you guys. Mwah.